Hey y'all, I am doing a review of Greenleaf, Season 1, Episode 2. And one thing I can say about Greenleaf before this episode even starts is I love the soundtrack. The music is really, really good. I really like it. So I am going to give you my review. I'm bracing myself. Episode 1 was so full of drama with this Uncle Mac and Gigi staying, and of course Faith's funeral, the other daughter. So I think it was 3 daughters total to begin with. And I think it's sad that any child would throw their life away just because other people didn't value them. You have to value yourself when it comes to being abused. Someone taking advantage of you as a child is not your fault. It's the adult's fault. The second thing is you have to tell. Keeping a secret like that, it just lets it go on and lets that person do what they did to you to somebody else. You have to tell. And the most important thing that you have to do is you have to say no. And not with fear, but with conviction. No. No. Holler, scream, tell somebody. The main thing that allows child abusers to get away is the abused child is afraid to say anything. They're afraid to say anything. And I have my own personal story about that. I was abducted from my grandmother's house when I was little, before I even went to school. And he abducted me from my grandmother's front yard. I was in the front yard playing. Nobody was watching me. And my mom had dropped me at my grandmother's house with me, and my brother and sister while she went off to work. So that happened to me. He raped me. He really harmed me a great deal. And I didn't tell nobody. I told my brothers and sisters a story about strangers, but I never told anybody what happened to me. So I didn't get medical care. I was in pain and I suffered through it. But one thing I did learn is that adults do not befriend children. Number 1. Number 2, don't be outside on your own by yourself, going to lonely places by yourself where there's nobody that can see you. Nobody knows that you're there. So I've never did that in my life. And number 3, I'm not doing nothing I don't want to do. There's nothing that no boy can say to me. There's nothing that no man can say to me. I'm not falling for the okie doke, honey. And I learned that before I even went to elementary school because of that man who abducted me. And to this day, I remember what he smelled like. He smelled like old liquor, old gin, something like that, gin or vodka. And even if I smell that on a grown man today, I remember that. So, and as you can see, I did not throw my life away just because some fool took advantage of a baby. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. And if you are watching this video, I want you to know that it's not your fault. You are a child. It lays at the feet of that grown person. If you are a child now watching this review and someone is doing something to you that you don't want them to do, you need to tell them no, and you need to tell somebody. Tell somebody. Tell them no. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. All right? So with that, I'm going to go on with my review, okay? Okay, before this starts, I want to say something else too. Aunt Mavis is saying to Gigi, here's your second chance, as if she has some responsibility for her sister Faith or something like that. I don't know about that. I know a saying that a politician said, ain't nobody helped a hick but a hick himself. And that's the same way with us as kids, as women, as people. You better learn to help yourself. You better learn to speak up for yourself. If you got a voice, you better use it. Because can't nobody fight your battles but you. And when that other person is gone on to glory or wherever they going, all you got is yourself. You better learn how to speak up for yourself. And ain't no time like the present. Ain't no time like the present, honey. Might as well go on and get into the habit of doing that as soon as possible. As soon as possible. Don't be expecting the cavalry to come. Don't expect to be able to call 911 or whatever, honey. You have to learn how to take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, honey. That's number one lesson in this here world. Because you can't always depend on somebody else to come there and save a lady. Oh, I'm in distress, honey. You in distress, somebody's distressing you, you better figure out a way to protect yourself, to get them up off of you. That's what you're going to have to learn how to do, because they ain't going to stop. They never do. You know, if you give in and let them run over you, honey, they just going to keep on running over you. You have to learn how to get people to stop fooling with you from the jump. You get that straight right from the beginning, and don't be expecting somebody else. That's why I never understood this a gang situation. Honey, you on your own. What you gonna do when they catch you by yourself? You better learn how to stick up for yourself. Learn how to defend yourself. Learn how to avoid situations where you know low lives are gonna be. That ain't where you want to be, honey. You better learn. I know that. And throwing your life away over what some low life did to you? Shh. Baby, please don't give nobody that kind of power over your life. Don't give nobody that kind of power over your life. Child or no child, no. What they did to you, that's on them. That's not on you. And you don't have to carry that burden around if you don't want to. Set that down, honey. That's not your fault. Ain't nobody told you to pick that up. You feeling sorry for yourself, honey? Everybody got that, got to cross that bridge. All of us. You better learn how to say no. You better learn how to defend yourself, honey. That's perseverance is number one. Number one, honey. And believe me, that pervert, somebody did it to them. That's how they learned how to do it. Somebody did it to them. And instead of them saying, oh, my Lord, this is horrible, and oh, my God, what happened? They decided to do it to other folk, to other children and animals and anybody else that they can take advantage of. And that's the way it goes with people. If you wanted these to kind of like what they showing faith to be, honey, you better learn how to say no. You better find a voice. You better find a voice, because they trying to wreck your life. Do what you can to save your life. You can give your life to somebody else. You don't let nobody have that kind of power over you, cause you torture and pain for the rest of your life. No, ma'am. Don't do that. And I'm telling you from my own personal experience. I'm telling you from my own personal experience, honey. I'm sitting here. I ain't let that man ruin the rest of my life. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I learned to say no. After what he did to me, oh, baby, I could see him coming. He's sitting up here, grown person, trying to engage me in a conversation. Are you crazy? Oh, honey, I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson well. Either you learn or you don't. You better learn. Child, this here man and this here money. This is a mess. He just told his executive assistant to ignore the senator's request for information. I don't think that's a good decision, but we're going to see how this is going to pan out, honey. Okay, so far my favorite line in episode 2, season 1 of Greenleaf is, Carissa dear, strength like yours is best expressed in stillness. Cold-blooded. Okay, regarding the baptism of the little baby for Sister Wilcox, I think that she should. She's the grandmama. If she wants her grandbaby blessed with and baptized, so be it. I don't see where it would hurt at all, even if the mother was an atheist. The mother is out of town and the grandmother is doing what's best for her grandchild, and I don't see nothing wrong with it. If you do, then please let me know in the comments. Meanwhile, I'm going on with the review. Okay, so just watched the Gigi have a talk with her daughter, and her daughter wants to go move with her dad. I don't blame her. For her mother to make the decision to stay in Tennessee, Jesus Christ, when they were on their way to New York, you've got to be kidding me. And she stayed away for 20 years away from her family. She only came back for her sister's funeral. And why on earth would she stay? I mean, I understand it's a plot line, but it wouldn't be me, honey. This show would be over because I'd be in New York. Boo, send me an email, honey. Leave me a voicemail. I don't think so. Tennessee, hell to the no. I done seen it all. Sister girl done instituted quid pro quo. Okay. I love it. I love this. Reciprocity, baby. I love that. Yes, yes. You want a little something, gotta give a little something. And I love it in these terms. She is the pastor. She's looking into the charges against her uncle, this 15-year-old girl, an assault that happened on church property. She can't really go to the security of the church without it getting back to her dad. So she went to see this officer who shot a child, and he wants her or someone from the church to stand beside him once he gives a public apology for shooting this child and killing this child. And she's like, well, can you take a look at this here case for me? Boom. I like that. I think that's good. I'm impressed with Greenleaf. All right. Uh-oh. I think somebody's in the closet. I wonder, is this anyone who's listening who happens to be gay, is this the way gay works? For some people, they're gay, but they can be with a woman until a man comes across their path that they like. Then they become 100% gay. Is that the way it works? Let me know in the comments, all right? Ooh, let me go on back in here. He wanted to make a baby with his wife until that man came in with the outreach. Now, he don't have no feelings for his wife now. She's like, what's wrong? You don't want to do this now? Ooh, wait, I think so. I could be wrong. Let me see. The problem is that I met a man. So I don't want to have no baby with you now, girl. I know you my wife and everything, but I don't want to. God. Oh my God. Is this the way it works, or did these writers just make this up? What's the dealio? Child. Little sister said, we is best friends. We is best friends, honey. I think that's some foreshadowing of something to come. We're going to see what's going to happen. And the episode ends with the mother of the 15-year-old girl calling Uncle Mac to tell her that Grace Greenleaf had came out to her house and that they had a deal. How about that? How about that? Well, let me know what you think about it. All right, that's all the Greenleaf I can take for now. So there may not be another review for a minute, but give me a day or two. Lord Jesus. Let me know what y'all thought about Greenleaf, honey. Y'all, I'm pretty sure that y'all saw season 1, episode 2 a long time ago. I'm just seeing it now and reviewing it, and I can't even believe. It's crazy. And on this episode, I only saw Oprah Winfrey in the beginning scenes, but not as the episode progressed. Oh, I'm sleepy. Talk to y'all later. Bye.